My name is Keith Key. I was involved in the festival since its inception. The history of the Heritage Festival goes back in the early 80s when it began as a block party. And the block party used to happen twice a year, first in the fall as an opportunity for students to meet each other. So the first Friday of class, we would have a block party. It would be at Drake Union outside in the parking lot, and it would, host about 4,000 or 5,000 people. And then in the spring, it was a much bigger event. It would host about 10,000 people, and we would use West Campus. We used St. John Arenas one year, so we would move it to where the university could actually provide resources in terms of space. But that event was not just a block party then either. It was a big block party on Saturday, and on Sunday we would convert it into a barbecue in the intramural fields, and we'd have about 10 or 15,000 people there, and fraternities and sororities and organizations would have booths and tents so people could actually learn more about the different organizations on campus as well. The evolution of the block party came really out, evolution of the Heritage Festival came out of the block party. It was, again, trying to preserve the fact that we came together, and from not just the party, but converting that, coming together into something more meaningful. So the Heritage Festival's history is really about keeping African American students together and allowing us to have a chance to express ourselves, not only to each other, but to the university.
My name is Larry Williamson Jr. I'm the director of the Frank W. Hale Jr. Black Culture Center with the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. And I'm also advisor for the Poetry Slam and the OSU Reads. The impact of the Heritage Festival to me is kind of twofold. I had the opportunity of seeing the Heritage Festival evolve. And what I mean by that is I've seen it when it was the block party and how many people came to the Heritage Festival, well, to the block party. And the block party was basically for fun, but I also seen a transition of it.
The impact of the festival was a little bit getting to know one another. It was a time that we could actually come together as African American students to find out ways that we can make a difference in each other's life and in the life of the university.
Now, the changes I've seen when it became the African American Heritage Festival was more so educational. I think it put pride within what we do here at The Ohio State University as an African American community. I've seen students get involved a lot more. I've seen them come across with cultural and educational things that really made sense to our community.
The years that I was involved with Heritage Festival, the largest impact that we had is that there was lots of collaboration with the MPHC. I was a member of the MPHC sorority at the time, and I was also on the executive board, so I was able to kind of like change a couple of things within the bylaws for MPHC to make sure that Greeks took a larger part in Heritage Festival. But also we took the time during the years that I was in Heritage Festival to actually make sure that our events were really, really community focused. And we started to do some different things with community service, and we started to do some different things with our judges for different events, and just basically the overall promotion and culture around different events.
My name is Hallie Malcolm. I'm a communications coordinator here at the Student Life Multicultural Center for The Ohio State University. How I came up with the African American Heritage Festival logo was I am a visual communicator or graphic designer, and as a senior we had to come up with a thesis. Towards the end of my career here at Ohio State as a student, I became more involved when I saw the need for the Heritage Festival to adopt more branding and be more consistent in their branding.
My name is TJ Stewart, and I currently am the Assistant Director of the Student Life Multicultural Center. As far as my involvement with the festival, I was first ever involved as a volunteer committee chair, and that was for the 27th Annual African American Heritage Festival. I have also chaired the Gospel Fest, and then I went on as a student advisor to advise Gospel Fest. I've advised Mahogany Moments. I've advised the volunteer, and then I was overall advisor for the 33rd African American Heritage Festival. The Heritage Festival has always been really iconic, I think, for the black students in the black community at Ohio State. There are a lot of people in the community in the city that might recall block party days, but during my time it was really the African American Heritage Festival was sort of coming into its own. and really becoming a staple for the community.
So my name is Catherine Betts, and I serve as Intercultural Specialist Liaison to African and African American Initiatives. And I am very humbled and privileged to be the overall advisor of the African American Heritage Festival. I think the impact is certainly long lasting. This is the 1 week where we can guarantee that we will see African Americans and people who identify with the African experience on campus in a very intentional way that is positive and affirming.
It was a good impact. It was for many students the first time that they saw themselves as a part of OSU's campus and or community. And by that I mean a way that they've seen their own identity, so in our case, Black students, as a part of the institution in a meaningful and intentional way. And so it was always a very exciting time, a time that students really looked forward to, and really I think created some of the most dynamic leaders of Black alumni at the university.
Ohio State University prides itself in diversity. We have so many different communities out there, and all of them have a unique history. None more unique than the African American history that we have here at Ohio State University. Take in consideration, Ohio State University was the first in many areas that other Big Ten universities are not. For instance, Ohio State University had the Dr. Helen Edmonds, who was the first person to receive a PhD in the 1920s. We all know what Jesse Owens did, but you had Dr. Turner, who received a degree in psychology in the 30s. So the history of African American people have always been an evolving history. When other universities were not, Ohio State University was one of the premier universities that were cultivating an experience of African American people.
I think if the festival were ever to go away for any reason, it would be a very, very sort of critical blow to the community of students here who work with the festival and also look forward to it every year. So it's important. It's important because of the work that we do in student life, in our multicultural center, but also across campus and in the city. It's just something that I think just has to be here.
I think there is no one picture to demonstrate the African American experience. I think there are many voices and many pictures and many ways to honor lived experiences, and I think that as we continue to move the festival forward, that we have a responsibility to do that as well.
I think the festival is resilient, and I think that it'll be here for a very long time, certainly longer than I plan to be here.
I want to thank this current planning committee. I want to thank the current overall chairs, Shannon Jeffrey and Betty Cowens, who have really led a tremendous committee who has worked very hard to put forth a tremendous festival, and definitely want to put a shout out to student leaders who find the experience meaningful as they come, and encourage you to consider applying. Applications are available during every event, and committee members as well as Multicultural Center staff are available to talk to you about the application process. So we want people to continue to be involved, and we want to continue this legacy, and in order to do that, we need to continually have new students and new people to bring along in the process.
It don't end while you're sleeping, you start to dream and think of how you danced on a disco scene.